Of course, you are always, as a director, you're always tempted when you hear a great story. But as the belief of our company, so like it took me almost 17, 18 years to make an Uri. I was supposed to direct my first film in 2009. That didn't happen. I was supposed to direct my first film in 2011. That didn't happen. 2013, 14, 16. For various reasons, that didn't happen. And finally, Uri happened after 10 years, 2019 it released. And I understood that there was a huge problem, which I feel with our industry, where the talent was not being backed. It was like she said that, like there was thoda chacha bhatija vaad thoda zyada tha. And I met him during 2019 National Awards, and we happened to speak to each other at that time. And I realized that the kind of hunger and the kind of talent Jamle has, it might be even better. He might be even better than me. So let's give the best script to best deserving person. It's not like I wouldn't have made a good film out of this. I would have made a good film, but I wouldn't have made a better film than what Jamle has made. And I truly believe in that. That our company's motto is that let's give chance to people who are outsiders, who really deserve that opportunity, because I didn't get it. I didn't have any godfather. I didn't have any my bap. So I really truly believe in that.
I'll just like to add one thing.
Is it working?
I don't know. So the thing is, I think also being like he obviously we met and he gave that opportunity and had that trust in me. But I think also it deals with two things. It is one thing is about one thing is about the foundation on which the company is based on, which is thorough professionalism and trying to give the talent the freedom it needs. But also Aditya being a director turned producer, it helped me a lot because he's coming out not just with one perspective, he knows what perspective I am thinking of. So that balance is something that I think the destiny gave it to me because I got Aditya, that okay, he knows why I'm saying a certain thing, and there was always a conversation. It was always a chemistry built on any decision whatsoever. So there was no friction of any kind. In fact, we both of us also, including the other writing team also, Monal Thakur and Arjun Dhawan, we always were trying to make it better. So it was always that intention, and that I think he's the most important person who led that foundation and that process. He gave that direction. This is how we'll go ahead. And that helped me a lot as a director because I was not under pressure of, how do I say, if I have to say something, if I want to make a certain treatment completely different. He was always like, go for it. I mean, you try it. I mean, whatever you want. So that I think is a very big thing for me.
The base is basically excellence. We have to strive for excellence, no matter what, and give audience something which they have never experienced before. That was the base with which we made Uri also. That let's give something which audience has never seen before, and same goes for this film, all the other films. He has directed another film for us, brilliant film. We'll talk about it someday else. That's also coming out really, really soon. So yeah, excellence is what we are always striving for.
Over here.
Yes.
Only if I could write thesis on it and how I felt. Thank you so much. Of course, it's mentally, there's so many questions. The first are always challenging, and if you're asking about motherhood and everything coming together at the same time, I really don't know what I would have done had Aditya not been there by my side. Had it been
Jaan le lo Aditya.
and Lokesh Bhaiya, everybody. I mean, it was of course a home production, but you're part of something. There's a sense of responsibility as an actor, and credibility as an actor, that you have to consistently be at it. Of course, we took precautions. That's also not a time where you tell everybody that okay, this is what's going to happen. It's the most it's something which is no kept secret, right? And but luckily, most of the stunts and the whole training bit, it was very rigorous training for weeks. As I already mentioned, very thankful to Keshav sir and Bhushan sir. He also took us to NSG here in Mumbai, and my God, that has to be one of the best days of my life, where you actually got to fire live, and I came out looking red like an apple. And they said, "What happened?" I said, "I don't know. I really enjoyed firing those shots." And so many emotions, of course, so many things. You want to be conscious, you want to be cautious, you want to be careful. I'm really thankful to some of the doctors that who were supervising this secretly. And so we were mostly left with the talkie portion or the walking shots, which we could, work around and manage. But all in all, as he said, this was almost felt like more than surreal. Like your baby is also part of this whole thing. There were always two of us putting that effort, two of us walking, two of us saying those lines. One, if I'm rehearsing, I'm sure the baby is listening, and I'll never. And I think somewhere the inspiration also comes from how I've seen my mother, work her way through when she was expecting my siblings, or I'm sure the kind of stories I've heard when she was expecting me. I think the kind of mental makeup, especially we Indian women have, I think it's way more stronger than we give ourselves credit for. So, yeah.
And look at it.
So people who label it as propaganda, I don't care about them. It is as simple as that. I really don't care about them, because the whole point is that I know where it's coming from. And Indian audience is actually very, very smart. They are really, really smart. They know a film, जब वो देखते हैं उनको समझ में आता है कि कौन सी फिल्म प्रोपेगेंडा है और कौन सी फिल्म का इंटेंट करेक्ट है. एंड मेरी फिल्म का हमेशा, टिल द टाइम आई एम अ फिल्म मेकर और आई एम अ प्रोड्यूसर और आई एम अ डायरेक्टर, द इंटेंट विल बी ऑलवेज राइट. द डे द इंटेंट इज रॉन्ग, आई विल स्टॉप मेकिंग फिल्म्स. So I don't care what people say, especially those people जो agenda-driven critics थे. And it's my observation, I might be absolutely wrong, but I always thought that the downfall of agenda-driven critics happened from Uri. If you notice that all the people who had said such bad things about Uri at that time, audience just thronged to the theaters. They just went, and the result was what happened with Uri. So audience doesn't care. It doesn't care if what your political agenda is, what you are thinking, and how you are presenting the reviews. What it cares about is what is the intent of the filmmaker. And trust me, like we have so many examples right now. We watch a 12th Fail, and we know that the intent of Vidhu Vinod Chopra was something to make like a great film. अब आप उसको कैसा भी review दे दो, it doesn't matter. Audience will still go for it. So I always feel it's the intent which matters. And over here with me, with all of us, the intent will be always correct. With her, like all her films in last 4-5 years have been brilliant, back-to-back hits because of the intent. The intent was correct. So I generally don't think about the critics who call it a propaganda and all that. And I feel it's the propaganda in their head which is making them look at this film as propaganda. 370 is an India-centric film. It is one film, it's an event which literally brought India together. It made India one, which was not there, which hadn't happened in 70 years. It's an incredible story. It's one of the best stories I've ever heard. When we were doing research for this film, the kind of stories we got to, Yami, the character she's playing, it's actually based or inspired from a real life woman who actually pulled it off. Priyamani, the character she is playing, it's actually inspired from real people sitting in PMO and how they figured out the whole thing. And the brilliant bit was that there were hundreds of people involved in it, and nobody leaked even a single information. And I kind of sometimes think of myself as investigative journalist. To get these informations out, you have to really, really struggle. But once we got the informations out, we thought it was one of the best stories we have ever. It's got everything. It's got politics, it's got thrill, it's got drama, it's got action, and it happened like it's inspired from real stories. So I don't care about what these people say.
All the best to you, and I hope the success repeats in this one as well, just like how it was in Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Hi.
This mic.
Hi. I can hear you. I can hear you. I actually should say कि आप film देखिए. बिकॉज
कुछ
अगर
थोड़ा
मैंने
सा
यहाँ पे
बताएं।
बता दिया तो
थोड़ा सा
इस
मतलब।
सवाल में
But-
फिल्म छुपी है.
बट आपको सब कुछ के बारे में थोड़ा थोड़ा समझ में आएगा, आपको क्लियरली समझ में आएगा कि ये कहाँ से शुरू हुआ था, कैसे हुआ था, और इसकी वजह से क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हुई थी, वो आपको इस फिल्म में क्लियरली समझ में आएगा. हमने थोड़ा थोड़ा, एक 2.5 घंटे की फिल्म में, 1-2 घंटे की फिल्म में आप सब कुछ नहीं दिखा सकते हो, तो आप हमेशा चूज करते हो कि व्हाट इज द बेस्ट आई कैन शो which makes the film interesting, entertaining for the audience, and at the same time gives them an information which is palatable for them. अदरवाइज ये डॉक्यूमेंट्री बन जाती. तो आपको इन ऑल प्रॉबिलिटी सब कुछ मिलेगा, आपको इन्फॉर्मेशन भी मिलेगी, आपको थ्रिल भी मिलेगा, आपको एंटरटेनमेंट भी मिलेगा, और आप घर जाके ये अपने परिवार वालों के साथ डिस्कस भी करेंगे कि यार ये हुआ कैसे था, और ये कैसे जिस तरीके से हुआ था ये तो काफ़ी कमाल की तरीके से हुआ था. तो इट हैज़ ऑल दोज एलिमेंट्स इन इट.
You've already seen how easy it is with Aditya. I think we both professionals. We both respect our professional boundaries, and we don't overthink things so much. He knows he's in this film. Of course, Aditya has worked as in capacity of a writer, co-writer, and one of the producers, and who's hired me as a professional to do the job that I did. And if only it's helped me, I'd say. And na hi sirf is film mein, but for anything that I feel, I want to discuss something, some idea with Aditya, या आज मैंने scene ऐसा shoot किया, मैंने वैसा किया. So that just is just an open discussion we anyways have. And so it was not difficult at all. I just said it. In fact, it was so I think very God sent the timing, because as I said, I don't know what I would have done had it not been Aditya by my side, because it was a very sensitive time, a very sensitive film, a very important film for us. It's the first film in the family that's first production that's coming out there. So too many things. But at the same time, अगर as he said, I'm sure इस meeting, इस conference में आपने ये शब्द सुन लिया है, पर वो बहुत ज़रूरी शब्द है. अगर intention साफ हो, clear हो, अच्छा हो, तो सब अच्छा ही होता है. So
Also,
I lucked out as well.
This is for me.
yes, both.
Of course. Matlab, that is given. That was given. My intent of making Uri, for example, my intent of making Uri was that I want to make a film which is a tribute to Indian Army. उसके ऊपर लोगों ने उसको propaganda बना दिया, जो भी बना दिया. Eventually I don't care. Like, we don't care that much. जिसको जैसा सोचना है, एक बार ये फिल्म रिलीज हो गई, ये ऑडियंस की फिल्म बन गई है. उसके बाद वो क्या करते हैं उस फिल्म के साथ, वो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है. बट इन लाइक आई अगेन सेइंग दैट striving for excellence and intent, these are the two things which we have maintained in this film also. And I really hope that majority of the audience likes this film, enjoys this film, and appreciates the effort which has gone behind making this film the way it is.
Thank you so much. I think you're very generous. Yeah, I think it all comes from a lot of factors, from what's your bent of mind at that point of time. Maybe I would have, maybe my choices 7-8 years back wouldn't have voiced out or supported what my perspective would have been, but maybe that's, there's certain choices you make out of because there's lack of option around you. I'm talking just for myself. But there comes a time in life where you feel, I have to just stop being this fearful person, or fear of saying no, or fear of not doing films. It's okay if I'm not doing anything, but I'm not going to do anything substandard, anything which I don't have my heart in, and I'm just doing for the economics of it. I think the day that happened, and the film that followed that thought was, I'm not kidding, that was Uri. Thank you. And yeah, it happens, we hear about manifestations and all these things, and I think somewhere it must be true, So at that time, when you grab that opportunity, you also have to have that understanding that, yeah, this is that film. I'm one of the characters in the film. The film is not about me, but I know what potential it holds. Then came Bala, then came A Thursday, then came all these films, and of course, as I said, it all culminated into a 370. So it's a journey. It's a journey. I'm very, I don't know, proud is the word. Does it sound too too much. I'm always very, I underplay a lot, I think, with words, and I'm very famous for not doing very famous PR, I think. But I won't have it any other way because it's my journey. It's my journey. I don't owe it to anyone. Of course, I owe it to my family, owe it to Aditya always says, ki it's not just us, it's also the good karma of generations and generations that we are sitting here together. We got together, like-minded people, like-minded families coming and nurturing something nice. So we believe in these things, and I'm so happy that I've come to a point where, yes, I can give voice to my...
Hello.
Priyamani?
Hello, here.
Yeah. Okay. I was just asking. Priyamani? Yes. Lonavala mein kya hua, we don't know. But but Kashmir mein jo hua, we all know. And I just wanted to know, do you feel as passionately about Article 370, the abrogation, as the rest of the team seems to?
Of course, that's why. Sorry, can you hear me? Yeah. Of course, I do feel special and I do feel happy that I'm a part of such a wonderful film. And I have to thank Aditya Dhar sir for personally giving me a call and telling me that there is such a film. And he told me the story, he told me what it is all about. And I, rightly, as you know, both of them said that the intention is always right. And I also believe in doing something like that. And which is why I chose to be part of this film. And I'm happy that I'm part of the film. And so thank you so much for having me part of the film. And I hope I've lived up to the expectations of everybody.
From Bollywood now. My question is to Lokesh. So this is your first film here. What made you choose to do this film? It's a full of political action drama.
No, it's always the story. We are not looking at what is the potential box office and how the critics will review it. The only thing which matters is the story something worth telling? Is it something in our zone? So, we have a certain sense of films and where we come from. And if that's aligned, we are making that film. After that, we do not think about, how are we going to cast, what's going to happen. It's just that, we go with a very determined mind that we have to make the film. We've already made 3 films. And in all of those cases, it's the story which stuck with us, and we went for it. And that will be in the future as well.
To add to his reply, Uri happened with Vicky when Vicky was not considered as a solo commercial actor, and it happened. We have done a film called Dhoom Dham, which happened with Pratik Gandhi at a point when Pratik Gandhi, nobody knew about him that well. We did a film with Manav Kaul as a lead, and we have projected him in a very big way. Same with Pratik. So our intent is great stories with great actors. मतलब उन एक्टर्स को कैसे प्रोजेक्ट करना है वो हमारे ऊपर है, चाहे वो विकी है, चाहे वो प्रतीक है, चाहे वो मानव है, चाहे प्रिया and Yami. The idea is to make great stories with great actors, deserving actors.
Uri gave the entire nation a role called How's the Josh? Hi,
Yeah.
sir.
Hi.
And your intent is now being seen in this movie. The trailer cut is amazing. But do you miss having such a role call in this? Or do you think that we are going to go back saying that Kashmir hamara tha, hamara hai aur hamara rahega?
क्या बात कर रहे हैं? क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप? क्या बात कर रहे हैं आप?
I think there are more also. For that, you'll have to watch the film and then it will start.
Perfect.
फिलहाल के लिए जो भी बात हुई बहुत कमाल की बात हुई. Thank you so much.
But that was a great signing.
जी आइए ना please.
Lokesh ji, adding on to her question, or right
Yeah.
here. Lokesh ji, being a maker of Uri the Surgical Strike, was that more challenging for you to be kept in always in mind that we have done Uri the Surgical Strike, the film? So is that any challenges you face?
No, so the idea is that how do we tell the story in its most entertaining and truest form? So even if you see this film, it's not like Uri. It's not like an action film in that army is going and, doing a surgical strike. This is a genre which is unexplored in this country. We have politics as well as action happening parallelly, which I don't think anybody has seen it in India before. And so it had nothing to do with, is it similar to Uri or not? No, this is a completely different story. And even with Aditya, all the films that he is trying to do or writing, whether it is Aditya Dhar or Aditya Jamle, they're all very different.
So the next film he's doing is a horror film. The film after that might be a biopic, which we are discussing.
Which
right
is a
now.
romantic story. Yeah.
Which is a romantic biopic. So with us also, it's like the world is your oyster. Whatever you want to do, you go ahead and do it. But the whole point is the story has to be great.
And I'll just like to add one point to your question. That the thing is, what was challenging with this film, if you compare, see, in Uri it was a surgical strike that was the moment of defining moment. Here it's a law being removed with lot of things that are not in public domain. So our intent right from the start was, after you watch a film like Article 370, you should understand everything and understand how this article was held inoperative on 5th of August 2019. Even if it's a 5th standard में पढ़ने वाला बच्चा भी ये बोल पाएगा कि कैसे हुआ है मैं अभी जानता हूँ ऐसे हुआ है. So that is our intent, that is our intent to make it in that way.
और बाकी जो चीजें हैं 23rd, you saying something?
Yeah, please. Yeah, please.
Creative part in B62 and the financial part in B62.
I take the creative. It's not like that. We all do everything. But Lokesh, being from top college, he takes the more of finance wala side. I, being a lafunder, I take care of the more creative side.
So यामी जी payment full आ गया है ना?
Yeah.
उरी की सफलता के बाद, उरी के ब्लॉकबस्टर होने के बाद आपने एक फिल्म अनाउंस की थी विक्की कौशल के साथ, अश्वत्थामा, और आपका ड्रीम प्रोजेक्ट है वो. उसके बाद कई अपडेट्स आए, लेकिन फिलहाल ताज़ा अपडेट क्या है, कब बनेगी, किसके साथ बनेगी, कुछ बताना चाहेंगे?
नहीं. So basically we have put that film on back burner right now. I'll be very honest with you. The kind of vision I had for that, we all had for that film, it was too big for the mathematics to work for Indian cinema, because the kind of VFX quality we were looking at, nobody has even strived for it yet. So unfortunately, जब तक या फिर तो टेक्नोलॉजी सस्ती हो जाए या फिर हमारा जो सिनेमा हॉल के जितने सिनेमा हॉल्स हैं वो बढ़ जाए, लोग जाने ज़्यादा लगे, तब तक मुझे थोड़ा सा देखना पड़ेगा. I'll give you an example. जेम्स कैमरन ने अवतार 27 साल पहले सोची थी, बट उसने वेट किया था फॉर द मार्केट टू गो अप और फॉर टेक्नोलॉजी टू कम टू दैट लेवल वेयर ही कैन एक्चुअली प्रेजेंट इट. आई एम नो जेम्स कैमरन, मतलब मैं उसके नाखून भी बन जाऊँ मेरे लिए वो भी काफ़ी होगा. बट द होल पॉइंट इज़ दैट वी हैव टू मेक श्योर, लाइक अगेन द इंटेंट बिट, कि एक्सेलेंस और इंटेंट अगर वो अचीव करना है, देन देर कैन नॉट बी एनी मीडियोक्रिटी. देर कैन नॉट बी कि यार मुझे प्रोजेक्ट बनाना है तो चलो फटाफट करके, इवन इफ इट्स 5 years of my prime time in my life, it doesn't matter. The film has to be brilliant, because अगर एक बार ये फिल्म वो छप गई, वो अगले 100, 200, 300 साल तक वो छप गई है. So it cannot be something which is mediocre, which is something where my intent is wrong, कि मेरे को पैसे बनाने से. No, it cannot be. It has to be that it is striving for excellence. I truly believe, and I'm a patriot, I truly believe that as filmmakers, we have a huge responsibility of representing our country in a right way. I really want to see me or one of my colleagues to stand in Oscar on the stage and win it for India. So it will only happen if we compete with them, and to compete with them, we have to be excellent. We cannot be mediocre. And that's how we have to go with it.
And I'm sure we'll get to see a lot of excellence on that big screen on the 23rd of Feb, Article 370.
I think.
Check.
Yeah, I think yes. I come from Goa, and this is the first time that a Goan director is doing a Hindi film. So I mean, at the end of the day, I think Goa is also filled with a lot of cultural heritage. It is filled with a lot of talent. But I think I just hope that because of this opportunity and this film, probably there'll be more people coming out, more technicians and more filmmakers trying to have that dream that they can come to this beautiful city and get that dream fulfilled and get that, you know, chance. So I think that is the only thing. I'm not somebody, I'm still learning and I'll keep learning. But with this with this opportunity, I'm just grateful that, you know, I can probably ignite some more minds to think that it is possible for a Goan to get to Mumbai and strive, learn, and somewhere, you know, you'll have that chance and the industry will give you that chance. So that's the only point I had.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, AJ, sir, for sharing that. And thank you so much for all those wonderful questions. We'll pose with the folders first, something confidential. कोई नहीं, पहले ऐसे सेटअप वाली तो कर लो आप, इतना अच्छा.
Check. Regarding that, coming back to that propaganda wala question, I seriously feel, personally, that the current government doesn't need a small film like ours to win election. They made Ram Mandir for us. It took us 500 years to get that. I don't think they need us to get them votes. So I think this film, again, is something which has the right intent. The timing was decided almost year to year back because the dates are selected by after the conversation with exhibitors and distributors. So that's how we decided upon this date. It incidentally happens, there was supposed to be another film in between, like he said, Ashwathama. It didn't happen. But by God's grace, this is the best time we got, and that's how we are releasing the film. बहुत अच्छे के लिए होता है. Thank you.
क्या बात कर रहे हो? I think it's only सही, मतलब सही रहेगा अगर वो जैसे पार्लियामेंट में हम लोग करते हैं ना, like we do this. So can we all, do we have like we all of us have our folders, right? तो दिखा दो एक बार, hands up in the air, come on, show us your folders, yeah. Now this is something that we can do, yeah. Come on. Let's try this. यार बड़ा जोश है, यहाँ भी जोश है. क्या बात कर रहे हो तुम लोग, कमाल है. हाँ? जान दे देंगे. जान नहीं, अभी तो खाली फोल्डर उठा लो. एंड 23rd को जाना है फिल्म देखने. Thank you so much for being so amazing. Thank you so much, the entire team. Pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Okay. The folder. Come. Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. When, we good? Huh? Thank you so much, Yami.